Today, you and I are going to be testing out the Covergirl Trublend Matte Made Foundation. Hey girl, hey! Now today I've got this huge gigantic box of the Covergirl Trublend Matte Made Foundation. I can't even fit the whole thing in the frame. I was sent all 40 shades of the newest Covergirl foundation, and I figured, you know what, today's a good day to do a foundation review and a wear test. Now, before we get started and delve deep into this foundation, I just want to let you guys know a couple tidbits about what this foundation claims to do. Now, this foundation comes in 4 shade ranges. We have light, medium, tan, and deep. Along with those, you have 3 undertones: warm, cool, and neutral. So there are 4 claims to the matte made foundation. The first one is that it is oil free, which supposedly is supposed to make sure that you don't get extra oily throughout the day. The second one is that it is transfer resistant, so hopefully it doesn't rub off on your clothes or somebody else when you go in for a hug, because that's the worst. The third one is that it's pore minimizing, so it should be smooth and kind of have that nice blurring effect. And the last one is that it promises all day comfort wear. Now, they also offered 4 primers in this PR box. It came with a skin smoothing one, a color correcting one, a pore minimizing primer, and an illuminating primer. Now, specifically in the deep shade range, there are 9 different foundations. Now, I think if you're in the lighter spectrum, but you are obviously a person of color, you might fit into the tan range, the T, possibly anywhere from T50 to T90. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the actual application of the foundation. And of course, I'm going to be checking in with you guys for a total of 6 hours so you can see how this foundation wears throughout the day. All right, so I'm going to be using 2 of the primers that were in the PR kit. The first one is the pore minimizing primer from the Trublend line. This is new, and this next one is the skin smoothing primer. So I'm going to put the skin smoothing primer on the majority of my face and then concentrate the pore minimizing primer on my cheeks where my pores are most visible. So far so good. I will say that the skin smoothing primer definitely has silicones in it, so if silicones make you oilier, like you have very oily skin already, you might want to stay away from that one, but I quite like it. It hasn't changed the color of my skin, and it has a slight fragrance to it. It's nothing major, but again, if you're allergic to fragrances or anything of that nature, then it might not be right for you. So I already shade matched myself, and the shade that matches me the best is D40 in the Trublend Matte Made Foundation. And I will say that D30 and D50 were quite close. Like, I could wear D30 in the winter, or I could wear D40 later on in the summer. So I feel like they did a really great job. The undertones didn't drastically differ or anything like that. I'm just gonna go in with 2 pumps, and you get quite a bit. Look at that right there. I will say this, I'm going to go in with a brush first, and then I'm going to go in with a beauty blender just to see what the coverage is like with a brush. And then I'm going to use my Morphe. This is the M439 brush. Just going to pick up a little bit here, dot it on, and you see how similar that is? I'm so impressed. So far with 2 pumps, I've gotten everything below this part of my face. So my forehead still doesn't have foundation, but as you can see, this looks nice. I honestly think it's like a your skin but better kind of deal, and I like that. Really good for every day. It doesn't have drastically like amazing coverage. I still have a couple spots here where I have some pigmentation, but I mean, it's not a big deal. If I'm going for a natural look, then you know, that's what I want. Okay, so all in all, I ended up using 5 pumps because because I covered my face, I took it down my neck, and then also all the way down here into my chest area because I like to kind of get more of a uniform approach. And I'm like 50 shades of brown right now. So, you know, I just want to get more of a smoother look. So here's what I will say. Straight off the bat, this is definitely a Your Skin But Better foundation. Very light coverage. I felt like you can't really build it up to like a medium, like a true solid medium coverage. It's very light. It does say that it is transfer proof and it does have more of a matte finish, but I feel like my skin looks great. Like, it looks poppin'. Right now I don't have any acne scars or a lot of acne to cover up, so I would probably suggest doing some spot concealing if you do have pigmentation or you have, you know, current like active acne that you want to cover up. But if you're looking for a good like natural Your Skin But Better, this is really, really great. And like I said before, I think the undertones for the foundations are spot on. And that in particular really excites me because I change as far as, you know, different color browns and stuff all year long, especially during the summer. So it's really important to me to be able to find a foundation with multiple shades with my undertone so that I can go lighter, I can go darker if I need to, and match my actual skin. So far, so good with the shade D40. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and I will come back to kind of show you guys what my look is, and then of course, you guys know I gotta come check in and let you know how the foundation's performing. All right, guys, so here is what my makeup looks like right after it's done. So far, so good. I did spray my face with MAC Fix Plus, so things do look a bit more dewy than it looked, but if you don't use Fix Plus, then that won't be, you know, an issue for you. You can have it truly matte. I'm really happy with the way this looks so far. I'm gonna go about my day and then I'm gonna continue to check in with you guys so you guys can see this in natural lighting and you guys can have an idea what this would look like if you wore this to work, if you wore this to school, or just all day in general. Hey guys, so we are at the 2-hour mark of wearing this foundation, and I gotta say, I look damn good. I'm very, very surprised. I am in the direct sunlight, so it may look a little bit more red than it actually is. It's definitely like more of my chest color here. I mean, honey, I'm glowing, and I am not the sweaty kind of glow or oily kind of glow. That's highlight. If you're wondering what highlight I'm wearing Pose from the Makeup, Shayla, and ColourPop collection. But back to the foundation, it looks good. It's not accentuating any pores, so I'm definitely feeling the pore minimizing look. Honey, I'm loving it. This is bomb. Hi guys, so this is my final check-in. Now I know I said I was gonna do 6 hours, but this ended up being 8 hours. Now I haven't touched my face at all. I haven't touched up, I haven't blotted, none of that. So what you're seeing now is the natural glow, my oils coming through after 8 hours of wear. Personally, I think this foundation did great considering that, you know, I went about my day, I ran errands and everything, and I think this looks really good after 8 hours. Normally, a lot of other foundations I have, they require some, you know, extra blotting and also kind of dabbing at the smile lines, but I think my smile lines look pretty good to me. I think the coverage of this foundation is amazing. If you like a light to medium foundation coverage for your everyday wear and you want to look matte and you don't mind if your oils come through just a little bit, I think that's going to be really nice. Now let's keep in mind with the primers that I used smoothing primers. I didn't use a mattifying primer. I think that if I used my favorite mattifying primer in my T-zone, this would look a lot different. It wouldn't be as dewy, but I mean, I'm not mad at this. I think this looks like beautiful. But I do think that if you are a very oily person in general, yes, you should definitely use your favorite mattifying primer in conjunction with this. I really like the shade range. Like I said, I feel like this foundation did not oxidize at all. I feel like the price point is great, and I like the coverage, but I think that if you're somebody that likes like medium to full and you like the buildable kind of aspect, you're not going to see that with this foundation. It's just kind of, it is what it is. When it goes on, the coverage is what it is. I love that this foundation has a pump. That is a huge selling point to me. I don't like to pour out the foundation on my hand. I just feel like I like to keep everything, you know, sanitary and that's why I like the pump. It's spreaded really well with a brush and with a sponge, so I feel like you could use both. And I have not found that it rubbed off on any of my clothing, which I love because, you know, for example, in the wintertime, if you live in a cold place, you're going to be wearing jackets and all kinds of layers and taking them off and putting them back on, and you don't want to see makeup rubbing off on that, right? So I really like it. And just to let you guys know, I'm just going to dab my hand right there, and there you go. There's no foundation that comes off. Just a little bit of oil from my face. But other than that, there's no foundation that comes off. So I love that. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing how this particular foundation pairs with my Tatcha primer and my e.l.f. Cosmetics mattifying primer, because I love those two paired together. I think they're bomb. I did use the Clarins Instant Smooth Perfecting Touch primer in my smile lines, so I think that's why I didn't see any separation in there. So just a heads up, if you're somebody that struggles with smile lines, get yourself a good wrinkle filling primer. That being said, like, I really like this foundation. I'm super pumped for it. I think it's great, so I'm glad to see them stepping up with 40 shades in a range and giving us something from the drugstore to sport. I think this is like, look at this. I look poppin'. I'm ready to like wear this every day now. If you like drugstore foundation reviews, be sure to check out my Maybelline Superstay foundation review up top. It's another really great foundation that I like at an excellent price point. As always, I love you guys. Subscribe if you're here and you're not already part of the family, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!